Welcome to Politics on the Couch. Today, this is going to be a little introductory video to the channel. I want to first introduce myself, what I do as a job at the minute, what I did previously, my experiences, and why I feel like I can speak about the things that I want to speak about on the channel. Everybody in this country has a right to be able to speak openly about government, thankfully. In some countries you can't do that. But anyway, let me start off by introducing myself. My name's Ben, and I'm currently a taxi driver, ferrying people around and taking them on holidays to the airport. And I spend a lot of time thinking about how we can improve this country, what things are wrong with this country. And I really want to get that out there and see what you guys think. Hopefully, as the channel progresses, I'd like to get this couch out on the road and take it to towns and cities around the UK. Hopefully speak to some of you guys out there and get your thoughts on what we can do to improve the country, what needs to improve, how we can do that, how we can work better as a society, what the government needs to do for us, which would be a great thing. Hopefully also, I'd like to get some politicians on and maybe they can express their views about how they can improve this country and what needs improving and how they're going to do it. Because for a long time, it seems like they're a little bit out of touch, especially when we had the Conservatives. They don't really live in the same bubble as normal people, especially the front bench people. They're just in their own little worlds, and yeah, it's all about the money. So a little bit about my previous roles. So I was a prison officer for many years, so I understand the prison system, and that's a whole subject that I can go into deeply about and where it needs to be fixed. There was a big news story the other day about the Manchester Bombers' brother attacking some prison officers, which is an absolute travesty. Also, previous to that, I was in the military, so I understand a little bit about the military as well and how that works. Obviously, I don't know the whole picture because I wasn't like some bigwig in the military. I was just a lowly NCO, but I do have a background in the military and how that works and how I think that could be improved over time. And whilst I've been doing all these sorts of roles, I'm also a family man. I've got 4 children, 3 cats and a wife. And so I understand, like everybody, we're all struggling at the minute, especially with cost of living going up, all the household bills, all the shopping. It's really getting tough out there to pay your bills, and I understand massively about that. And throughout being a family man and doing all my jobs, I've also managed to get myself a law degree and a master's in legal practice. So the legal system is something that I'm very interested in, and that's what brought me to this channel, really, is that I understand a little bit about legislation and how Parliament works and yeah, all that sort of stuff. And really, spending my time in the taxi gives me a lot of time to think about this sort of stuff, especially when it's quiet. It's so like mind-numbing almost that I find ways to keep myself interested. And one of those things is looking at the news and seeing what's going on in the world. I'm going to try and keep it more British specific, but with all the things that are going on at the minute in America, with Donald Trump and his crazy tariffs, that's going to affect a lot of people's pensions over here, and I think that deserves being spoken about. Really, it's an absolute crazy mess of a situation, and also I want to talk a little bit about global politics as well, especially with the Ukraine and Russia war going on, and how Britain are going to be drawn into that even more, maybe with the coalition of the willing, which in some ways I think is a good idea, but it's a risky move on Britain's part because we could get drawn into a very deep conflict there. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about in the world at the minute. It's a crazy old world. There's lots to delve into. Sort of also my inspiration for this channel. I don't know whether you've heard of Gary's Economics. Absolutely fantastic channel. You need to go out there and discover that channel. He's on YouTube. He's been on Diary of a CEO recently. That was one that really struck home with me. It was Gary from Gary's Economics and another guy, I can't remember his name. They had a debate on Diary of a CEO. The other guy was an entrepreneur, and Gary from Gary's Economics, he was a trader, but now does a YouTube channel about inequality growth in the UK and offers his views on how we can solve the inequality. And they had a great debate, and it kind of kicked me into gear and thinking that, yeah, maybe we should start demanding more from the government for ordinary working people and trying to improve our lives, because the way I see it is our living standards are kind of falling off a cliff. And I don't know, like, we need to take action now to help solve that. And Gary's Economics was a great inspiration for me to start this channel. And yeah, the more I think about it, the more I want to make my voice be heard. And I want you guys to have your voice heard as well, because that's important. The more voices we have, the more the government has to listen. And yeah, I hope what I say resonates with you guys. If it doesn't, let me know, and we can have a discussion about it. Obviously, on YouTube, there's thousands and thousands of comments, so I can't get drawn into every conversation. But if you're the first up in the comment section, I don't mind having a discussion with you over the comments there. And yeah, have a good day, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.